Welcome. Today we'll talk about pattern formula. This is usually seen in a lot of problems as one of the subsections that you need to be thorough about in order to solve the larger problem. That said, let's go deeper. Let's understand what pattern formula is. Okay, let's consider the following sequence, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And if I ask you what is next, you'd say it's 11, and the one after that would be 13. You would in fact label the sequence and call it odd numbers, which is all great. But if I were to extend it a little further and I asked you what would be the 100th number in this sequence, what would be the 437th number in the sequence, it's not so evidently easy, right? You might need a pen and a paper to actually work it out and get the answer. This is where a pattern formula comes in handy. So what do we do in a pattern formula? Now let's write down the exact same series in the second row, which I call as V. V stands for value. So the value of the numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, which are nothing but the odd numbers as you had identified. But each of these odd numbers also have a hidden dimension within them. That hidden dimension is P. P stands for position. So each and every one of them have a position. For example, 3 is the second odd number, 7 is the fourth odd number, 11 is the sixth odd number, 13 is the seventh odd number. So how do I connect P with the corresponding value of V? In other words, if I give you the input of the 100 as the position, how do I find out the exact value of the 100th odd number? How do I connect this? And if I can do it for a generic value of n, then what I've arrived at is the pattern formula. So first step is to always think about how can I explain this algorithmically. Like in this case, I would say whatever is the position, I double it and then subtract 1. So 7 twice 7 would be 14, minus 1 would be 13. 13 would be value. Now, if you remember this algorithm and somebody asks you what's a 100th odd number, it's quite easy. Then it's like 100, I double 100, I get 200, minus 1 is 199. If somebody were to ask any such crazy number like 437, you would still apply the same algorithm, double the number, subtract 1, and that would be the value. Now, the second step is to make that into a pattern formula, to come up with a generic value saying, if my position is n, what's my value? And in this case, it's 2n minus 1. I'm just translating the algorithmic explanation into a mathematical formula, saying whatever is the position, if that position is n, then twice that minus 1 is the pattern formula. Now, can you identify this series and find the pattern formula for this? Again, you can take a moment to think about it. Think about how do I connect the dots? How do I connect P with V? How do I explain this with an algorithm? Can you explain it with an algorithm? And in this case, it's quite simple. You just need to double the position to get the value. Which means, what is the pattern formula? It's nothing but 2n. Can we try another challenge? In this, it's slightly different. So I have the numbers 10, 17, 24, 31, 38, 45, 52, and you can actually go about adding more and more. But how do I connect the two of them? How do I connect? So that's always a question. How do I connect P with the corresponding value of V? For example, how do I connect 2 with 17? How do I connect 3 with 24? And can I explain that with an algorithm? Right? So the algorithm for me is I need to multiply this particular each and every position value by 7 because it's changing with respect to 7. And then add something. So the pattern formula in this case is 7n plus 3. So let me take the example of 5. 5 times 7 is 35, 35 plus 3 is 38, and that's the pattern formula. Let's make it a little tricky. Now I have the numbers 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28. Now it's not so straightforward like the ones that came in earlier. So how do I connect P with the corresponding value of V? Can I explain this with an algorithm? What is my pattern formula? You can think about it, try to solve it yourself and see if you can come up with the pattern formula for this particular series. I'll give you the answer. The answer is n into n plus 1 by 2. Let's apply this to the fourth one. 4 times 5 is 20, 20 divided by 2 is 10. Let's apply it to 7. 7 times 8 is 56, divided by 2 is 28. So the pattern formula is right. Now the question is, how do you get this? How does one derive it? We'll probably do it in another video if enough of you are interested in it. So I would request you to please leave a comment if you're interested in knowing how to prove that the pattern formula for this particular series is in fact n into n plus 1 by 2. And if you would like to be kept updated about when that video is going to be published, then I would request you to please click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss it out. And I will look forward to meeting you in the next video. Thank you so much.